I think it will. Good morning, and thank you for joining us today. And at Business Community Support, we have a very timely program for you, talking about what we should be planning for 2022. And yes, it is time to do that, isn't it, Chris?
It absolutely is. Fourth quarter is coming up in just a few, well, we're in fourth quarter. So yeah, it already is. We're already there, and so many holiday things are coming up. And also, you really need to be starting to think about January. So I think
Exactly.
the topics that we've got on slate for everyone are right on track. So thank you, Cheryl, for putting the program together.
Yeah, we're really excited. We got lots of things to talk about. I'm Cheryl Hearn with Spin Marketplace Digital. Of course, we have Chris Patrick of Main Street Fort Dodge. Our other sponsors of this weekly program include Jed Burns with Alpha Media Fort Dodge, and Kimberly and Darcy with the North Central Iowa Small Business Development Center. And that is a mouthful, but boy, do they do a lot of stuff for our community. And we just want you to know that everybody here works on this program each week to bring it to you, bringing a variety of things. Last week we had Discount Tire on, and had a great response. A lot of people were hopping on and making comments about it. So it was very exciting to introduce a new business to the community. And we're going to talk about some new things downtown Fort Dodge as well, and some other announcements that Chris will have, as well as other updates on it. But let's get to our program today, and we kind of teased you a little bit. We're going to be talking about 2022, and yes, it is time to get to that. We need to be working on 2022. Actually, I tell my clients August is when you need to be going there. But what we're going to talk about today is how to plan for 2022 and the changes that we've seen over the last year and more. But here's one that just was announced, and I do have some close relationships in regards to this, and I knew this was coming down the pipe, but it was formally announced yesterday. Meredith Corp was purchased or is being acquired by Dotdash. And the reason for this is the digital marketing. Their digital component at Meredith has grown substantially. Dotdash is a huge digital company, and they're bringing the two together to increase their digital branding in the industry. They're looking, it will be the largest digital company basically worldwide when this is done. So
That's amazing.
it's amazing. And one of the trends out there that while Meredith will keep their magazine sales on there, and as it says, their Tom Hardy said, having their magazine, their digital business has grown rapidly, having surpassed their magazine sales for the first time in the company's history. And Meredith, of course, is known for their magazines. Not that they're not going to keep those magazines out there, but the sign of the times is going to a more digital platform for everybody. COVID pushed that, but we were already going that direction. I just think COVID just accelerated the usage of that out there. So we're going to talk a little bit about that as well, and some other things that are going on in the community. So in my world, of course, we're always working on digital marketing and understanding what the insight is on your marketing. And marketing insights provide information based on objective-based. Was that an excellent program that the Growth Alliance did here on Tuesday, and that was with Dr. Cox with the CIRRUS and the ISU program, and he was talking about employment within the state of Iowa. And one of his key things that he mentioned or started out with, is that everything he does is objective based. It's not emotional. It's based on data. It's based on information that he collects and uses. And that's exactly what we do here at Spin Market, as well as the digital marketers out there. We take objective-based information and put those in the different platforms that we're working on in order to get you the marketing and get you seen out there the way you want to be seen in the public. So we're going to talk a little bit about what that incorporates. A lot of information here. Unfortunately, we're not going to be able to get very much in depth with it because we have such a short period of time. An hour is not long enough, of course, to learn all this, but we're going to be going through and talking about what the different platforms are, what creates a ROI, your return on your investment, and that information. So basically, here is what we call our marketing insight funnel. And and anybody in sales or marketing, or really even any business owner, probably has some relationship with some type of a funnel. And when they're working on their sales, on their planning, and any kind of CRM program that they have a funnel where, first of all, you have to identify your market. You have to connect with that market. You need to influence that market, and that's by ads and other special offers or call to action or whatever it may be, to get those individuals in with you, or to be interested in your products or services or business or whatever it may be. And then, of course, you convert them into the sale. So that's the same thing we do with digital marketing. It's just in a different way and using different platforms. So when we're doing marketing and digital marketing, we want to reach a specific target audience. So often, and I know you've heard this too, Chris, so often anybody you talk to says, everybody's my customer. And we all know that that's not true. Not everybody is your customer. And we want to make sure wherever you are marketing to, or whoever you are trying to reach out to, that you get to that specific target audience, so you get the highest return on your investment. Initially, you may have to be broader based because you're looking for that market. But as you identify and learn and get more efficient in that marketing, and the omni-channel approach is what they call it, so that you're going across to multiple channels, different platforms, different devices out there, to identify and hone in on your market. Once you do that, then you're able to be much more efficient and target, and then your ads and your campaigns and your digital branding, whatever it may be, and whatever your goals are, become more powerful. So many of us are used to the cookie base. And actually, I was going to go buy some cookies today because I didn't have any cookies at home, just to illustrate why, that's, people go, why do they call it cookie base? Well, it's based on the crumbs. The crumbs that people leave behind are what you leave behind when you're looking at different things and you're doing different behavioral things online. So that's what cookie-based data is. And that's what we've been living on for years, is cookie-based data. Unfortunately, it's not as granular as what you would like. Like it says here, cookie-based data. It says gender, likely female, age 18 to 35, marital status, likely married. Again, geography, Chicago. Well, Chicago's a big area. That's not narrowed enough for us. Devices, unknown. Well, we want to know what devices they use. And then their different online behavior. Again, it doesn't bring it in tight enough for us. Today, we're able to do data-driven targeting, where we qualify and find out who's actually interested, and then we connect with them. So people-based data is what we use, and that tells us exactly, it's a female, tells us exact age of that individual. And people are going to go, how do they know that? Well, if you're online, everything you do is saved up someplace. And so we can identify, most people put their birth date in when they're sign up for Facebook or anything. And so that's there. It's going to show the marital status. They'll even show the number of children that they have. It'll show their zip code based on where their phone is basically at geographically. And it shows exactly what devices they use. It'll show you what their favorite TV shows are and what they watch. And it even shows you the exact stores that they go to and shop to. So again, it qualifies your market. It shows what they're interested in, so that you can better decide what you need to do. We've got one client where it came up that it showed that their client base liked GMs. They liked GMs and Buicks, and they liked family businesses. Well, in talking to that client, the client says, well, what do I mean? I need to go after everybody that buys a GM car or a Buick? No. What that meant is these people like tried and true. They like American made. They like to know that the products that they're buying, that they can count on those products. going forward. They know that they're trusted. They like the family oriented. They like to know who, they like that relationship there. So while it said that they like GMs, Buicks, and family businesses, it really said that they like relationships, they like tried and true, and they like America. So as you're branding, you need to think about those things. So when you're putting those ads out, putting any kind of articles or any kind of information out there, you want to make sure that you're saying those things, that you are very family oriented, that you're community oriented, that what you do, they can trust and count on, and it's something that they can feel comfortable with. So that's really what it meant, not GMC, not Buick, and not family business. So data-driven audiences, you have both your offline, your online, and your DPM targeting. So when you're doing data-driven audience, you're getting everything there. You get their locations, where they're going, where they're purchasing, and all of those things offline as well as online. You see their online habits, their hobbies, what they like to buy, what they intend to purchase, because based on what they're looking at online. And then your advanced target, your third-party data, which basically is going to be going away in 2022, and a much more granular profile of your audience. So what we're talking about here is for 2022, we actually have a special pixel that we're able to put on our websites and anybody else and collect all of this data for you ahead of time before you're marketing. So within 30 to 45 days, we can have a really good defined idea of what your market base would be for 2022, if that would help you make a better determination of how you're going to market going forward. So marketing insights, again, why do we do this? Well, first of all, we need to understand who your customers are, how they behave, and what they want, not what you want. Frequently, our clients will say, well, I don't look at that. I don't go on Facebook. I don't buy those type of products. Again, you need to step back and say, okay, who am I going after, and what do they want? Because that's what you need to do. You need to understand that it's an actionable to improving the performance of all marketing efforts. So the more granular you are with your marketing, the more defined you are, the more you're apt to get the customers or clients or whoever it is to learn about your information, to learn about your brand, and learn more about you. So data provides both online and offline insights. We always are looking at demographics, who you're affiliated with, your behaviors, just all of those things. And a lot of psychology goes into all of this. I think that's the other end, is that people don't realize that we're using a lot of psychology when we're taking all this information and incorporating it into marketing. So again, what we do in digital marketing and what digital marketers do is that we're always focused on targeting the right audience at the right time with the right message in order to really maximize your ROI or your return on your investment. You really want to make sure that whoever is looking at it is the person that you really want it to go to. So there's all these things that we look at: demographics, purchase intent, purchase history, buying behaviors, who your brand, what type of brand you like. And we went over that a little bit just earlier with the GMC and the Buick. They like those brands. Those brands tend to be felt as trusted American brands. So that means that they like those type of brands to purchase. And then their behavior, the lifestyle, how do they feel when they're buying something? That could be very important to you too. What kind of feeling do you put out there when they're buying those products and services? So again, looking at a lot of the psychology behind what the data is that you're receiving. So, not every business is going to have as much minimum audience base as what we need to really get a good threshold and really have a great enough people to get enough insight. No matter what size your business is, we can get some idea, but the more traffic you get to your different websites or your different digital platforms, the better we can identify who those individuals are and get better idea on top of that as well. That doesn't mean that we can't handle one that has less than 500 total users of the homepage, which really isn't that many. If you're not getting 500 people over 30 to 60 days looking at your homepage, then we really need to look at that website, because you should be getting at least that on there, no matter what type of business you have. So again, looking at all that information to collect it and to get those insights. And there, once we get that, then we put everything together and we strategize on how to best use that going forward and how to incorporate that with the different digital platforms. I think that's a really important point too that we need to make, is that not every digital platform is appropriate for every business. I always get this, well, I need to be on Facebook, I need to be on Instagram, I need to be on Twitter, I need to be on LinkedIn, I need to be on TikTok, whatever it may be, because they hear those things, but it may not be in their best interest. It may not be what they really need to be looking at or getting there. We need to also think about what that information is when we're getting to that point and how we're handling it going forward. So a lot of strategy behind it, constantly looking at it. Your digital campaigns are constantly are a very dynamic type of marketing, and you have to constantly be looking at it and getting involved with what that information is and being really quick to adapt to that information. With digital marketing, you can jump around a lot easier and make changes, and we can show a improvement quite quickly. So here comes in some information that we get when we're looking at that. As you can see, we get really right down to it. Business and finance, industry, construction. This group that we're looking at is very high in those industries and high in construction. Their hobbies and their interests. Their hobbies and hobbies and interests take a big field out there. That's a lot of, it could be gardening, as in this one, or it could be scrapbooking or whatever. So whatever our audience is looking at here, of course, it says there's two different kinds that we're seeing the most of with this audience: camping and gardening, which tells us that these people are very outdoorsy. They like the outdoors. They like the fresh air. They like that type of thing. They like to cook, food and drink. They enjoy cooking. That might be that they love to go and learn new recipes. That may be that they love to go to different restaurants, that type of thing. So again, all these behaviors are looked at. We look at the behaviors, we look at the gender base, we look at the age, the income, and the education. And all of these give us great data and information to help us to better identify who our base actually is and who we are going to be marketing to. A lot of information there. What is always fun too with this on the insights is when I talk with clients, and 1 week we look at it, we kind of have a battle going back between Walmart and Hy-Vee on one of our clients out there. And 1 week Hy-Vee will be on top, and the next week Walmart will be on top, or 2 weeks in a row Hy-Vee is taking a gain, and then the next week, oh, there went Walmart, he took the lead on it. So it's always a horse race out there, and you just never know who's going to come to the finish line on it. So I just really think this says it all. Old ideas that keep you from reaching your market and revenue goals. A lot of times clients will base their marketing on what they see and what they hear. If I don't see it or I don't hear it, therefore it's not doing anything. And as I tell clients, we're not marketing to you. You may not be in our demographic group that we're marketing to, because your product and service, you already are sold on your product and service. So we don't need to spend money on marketing to you because you're already there. We need to get to the ones that are not using you or have left you, or also we want to keep the ones that you've got coming constantly. So that's, I think Kellogg's has a new product out today. They're working with Wendy's. I don't know if you saw that, but they are taking Wendy's Frosty and making it into a cereal. And in every Kellogg's box that you buy with that, you get a free Frosty. So that's very interesting in how they've taken a Wendy's, a restaurant, a fast food restaurant, and incorporated it into the Kellogg's cereal. So again, going away from old ideas that keep you from reaching your market and revenue goals. Look at what's out there now. You need to be concerned about your competition. You need to be watching them, but do not base your decisions on the fact that you see that they're doing more, that their marketing is out there all the time. Because as I told one client, he kept saying, well, my competition is every time I open up my email, it's there. And I said, that's because you keep looking at their information and they think you are a new customer. So quit looking at their information. And they're targeting you, which is exactly what we want to do with your marketing out there. So again, understanding that old ideas need to be changed. You can still use print ads, you can still do radio, you can still do TV, all of those things that you're used to doing, but looking at it in a different way to really reach your market and your goals that you're trying to accomplish with it. So that's my conversation for today. And there's a lot of it in only 20 minutes. And I'm sorry, guys, that I went so fast. But of course, you can always get a hold of us out there. And we do have a comment here. Stacy says, let's finish 2021. What's going on at the mall? Well, they're working hard at the mall. But as we always say, you have to get dirty before you get pretty. And when they're remodeling, when they're constructing, all of those things, it's a mess. And I agree, it doesn't look really pretty, but it's getting better. And people that think it's closed, you just need to tell them that no, it's just growing, it's changing, it's developing, and it's changing out there. So we're all, that's part of our program, isn't it, Chris? Is that we want to make sure that people know what's going on in the community.
Well, absolutely. And there's so many things going on behind the scenes for the mall project that we really can't talk about yet. And the city can't share with anyone yet. So give it a few more months and I think you're going to be surprised at how quickly things turn around and what we're looking forward to as far as some new stores in the mall area. I think
exactly.
People are going to be really excited. So just give it a little time, but I totally understand your frustration. I was over there the other day and they do have the blue screens back up on the north side. So it looks a little bit better. But in a construction site, it's not going to be attractive.
No. And this individual just wrote, no, it's not. There's nobody working there. Well, you need to understand, again, just like Chris said, there's things going on in the back that have to be done first. Architects are designing. Some of the funding just came through. Was it the summer, I believe, was when we received July? July, when we received the notification of the, I think it's 18 million that the economic development is helping to pay towards the development out there. So a lot of things couldn't be done until they received that approval. And then after that, then you have architects, you have all kinds of legal and licenses and just so many other things that we don't see going on. And I, like Chris says, just be patient. We're dirty right now, but it'll be pretty soon.
Yeah, it is getting there. And like with any construction company, especially when they're still doing some demolition, we're on a rotating schedule. They're not just doing one job. They might be in 4 or 5 communities at one time, and they just come back when they can get here. So that's just my opinion. So don't quote me, but I think that might play a part in it too.
Well, yes, and there is staffing and labor issues out there, so things take just a tad bit longer. Just like restaurants, when you go in, you need to be very patient because some of them just do not have the staffing that they need, as well as products and services. That's the other thing that I've seen in the construction world with my clients is the number of projects that are on hold because they can't get
supplies.
The supplies that they need in order to do it.
No, I think we're seeing that in every industry as far as it goes toward construction. I mean, it can be the implements that you have to put in the wall to do 220. It can be fencing for decorative fencing for a business or home improvement project even. So we've seen those things kind of stall out some projects here in the downtown too. Finally, things got moving again. So some of those projects are now complete or in the final days of getting those projects completed, including our challenge grant, which will be a bakery here in the next few months. So excited about that. And we're so happy that Main Street, Iowa chose Fort Dodge to do the Ready to Recruit grant. That was a $15,000 technical assistance grant. And we have a steering committee of about, I think 9 people that have been working, again, really hard behind the scenes to make sure that the survey that we sent out was really distributed well. We had 790, I believe, people respond to that. So what the Ready to Recruit program is about is making sure the community and the downtown is ready to bring developers and site selectors into Fort Dodge and sell them on Fort Dodge. We're passionate about where we live, so we have to make sure that we generate that same passion in those people. So what the goal is, and one of the objectives of Ready to Recruit is on October 26th, we're going to have a gentleman come in posing as a site selector, and we're going to take him through just like he was somebody that was really truly interested in Fort Dodge, and he may be. We never know. Sometimes you actually get businesses from this program. So anyway, that is going on, and let's talk about the statistics from the survey. Is that the first slide, Cheryl, on the survey?
There's the first one for you.
There we go. Yeah, so the 790, that's our survey sample. You can see the demographic of male versus female. And then what are people coming downtown to see? Old Boston, Shiny Top, River Hops, Bloomers, and the Darriette are the 5 top eating and drinking establishments people go to and spend money in the downtown. So that helps us understand that demographic, like Cheryl was referring to earlier, even in the digital marketing. Who are we really needing to target more? Where is our leakage, the people that aren't coming downtown, and how do we inspire them to come down and see what's going on? And then as far as trends go, we did have 37% say that the downtown is improving or making progress. I'm 36% saying it was steady or holding its own. So really, when you put those two numbers together, it's 73% that have a good positive feel for the downtown. That's out of our community. And then 26% still feel it's declining. And we don't know if those people have been coming downtown or if they had stopped coming downtown when things were looking a little neglected. So again, really good data, and it really drills down into all of those pieces that Cheryl was talking about earlier. We know how many female and male, what ages they are, what their household income is. We didn't get too invasive because it was a 5-minute survey, but those types of questions help us hone what kind of products and businesses will survive and flourish in Fort Dodge. And then we can go out and reach out to those site selectors, developers, and businesses and other communities and our local entrepreneurs to say, these are your opportunities. We can help you. And there are a lot of tools that we have available as far as references and resources and some funding, pieces to go along with that. So now we can move on.
Yeah, and you just nailed it right there too, because by having that information for anybody coming into town or anybody interested in a business, it really helps them to better gauge what they need to do and be more strategic on their business, what they're going to do. Maybe their idea of going on one direction might have to be changed just a little bit based on some of this information on it as well.
That's right. So in 2018, 2019, we did the first phase of the market analysis study, where we did a much longer survey, and we've got really drilled down into what people, families, seniors are all wanting to see in Fort Dodge as a whole. And through that, we've had 3 or 4 businesses look at those outcomes, which are saying people wanted, like a bookstore, and people wanted more clothing and more eating establishments in the downtown, or different product lines. They wanted makeup because the mall, Yonkers, had closed and there was nowhere to get upper end makeup. So Mary Kay Daniel installed Merle Norman into her Mary Kay's Gifts and More. So now we do fill that market need, and she's doing really well with that. But that's what established businesses, the businesses that are here, can expand just through changing some of the product lines that we have isolated and pulled from that information.
Exactly.
So this chart, and this will be on our website too, but this chart is just showing what people wanted in a restaurant. Steakhouse was number one, family fun eatery. That includes activities in that space to have fun with. It could be a Chuck E. Cheese style, or it could be a climbing wall. And as you can look at the list below that top pick of 18.1%, it's saying indoor climbing structures, a dinner menu, arcade games, full service family cafe. So it could be from morning to evening. It needs to be open, a full day, and then an obstacle course. So we really know what people are looking at. And after we look at this data just on the eating and drinking places, then we go into the question we had on the survey of which one of the choices would you go to the most? And in this one, that question moved us down the lane a little bit. It was no longer at number 2. So it just was interesting how the data overlaps, and we can really pinpoint what we need to be recruiting.
Exactly. It really helps identify. And a lot of these questions, it wasn't just multiple choice either. Some of the questions were, they actually put in their information on it as well. So it wasn't that we were really funneling them in and asking specific things. We did ask for their feedback. And so that's also what comes across on these as well.
Yeah, and we have that, in a separate chart, but we do have someone who's looking to put a deli in the downtown. So, I mean, this was a perfect piece of information to give them and saying, hey, this might be a really great opportunity for you to do this now instead of waiting. So hopefully that will sway them to move forward with their planning.
Very cool.
And then this was the retail chart. You can see that a bookstore was number 1, clothing store was second, and this was upper end clothing. General store, outdoors, recs and sport, just for the downtown. So close to the river, it would be nice to maybe have some boats, canoes, and kayaks, which is identified in that list. And then camping gear with all of the trails and outdoor recreation, the OHV park. I mean, we really need to be taking advantage of what we have in the surrounding area of what we can bring into the downtown and fulfill that need. Mm-hmm. So pretty exciting information. We'll be feeding this out through our social media channels so people can kind of digest this one piece at a time. It's kind of overwhelming when you look at the whole survey at one time.
Yeah, and I think we need to really reinforce that for everybody. We only have an hour at the most to go through all this data with how to plan for your 2022, as well as all this information that came from Main Street. So this is just the tip of the iceberg. If you want to know more, both Chris and I are always available to talk and to expand upon those things as well. So Nextly showed here some of our potential prospects.
Right. So that goes to that farm to table restaurant, the upscale steakhouse, deli and sandwich shop. You'll see that some of those moved a little bit from that first chart. Mm-hmm. A family fun interactive restaurant, which I mentioned, remember, was number 2 in the first layer of info, and now it's fallen to number 5. So really being able to see, is this business sustainable? And that's what this data is showing us. How well will they do over 3 to 5 years? Are they going to be able to maintain and grow their business? Or is this something that's not going to be a staple third place in our culture and in the life of our residents? So
And I love the 38 list of potential prospects that either are interested in opening a business or moving downtown. That's a really a good number.
it is a great number. Main Street, Iowa was shocked. This was one of the highest numbers. Oh, well, definitely we had the highest number for this year, but one of the higher numbers that they've seen with this question. So we know a lot of people are interested in the downtown, and there's so many entrepreneurs that are still operating out of their house, or they just have that little gem of an idea that they need support to help just kind of figure out where they're going. Is it sustainable? Is it something that's going to work here in our community? So, as always, we're here to help. Also, Small Business Development Center, Kimberly Tiefenthaler and Darcy Swan are always there. And then we have some other resources in the community too, as far as funding goes, with MIDAS, Council of Governments, with grant writing. So don't hesitate. I think now is really the time to jump in and just share your idea with someone that's in a confidential, safe space that is not going to share it with other people. And I think sometimes just walking through that is going to help quite a bit. And if you are thinking of expanding your product line through 2022, same thing goes. Let's start thinking about it now. Usually the rule of thumb is 6 months out. You need to be planning. If you're in retail, maybe a little farther out to know what kind of merchandise that you're going to get in to be selling, and keeping track of the trends. And that's one thing I think we do a very good job with through this opportunity, is to make sure that we're giving you accurate information and trending information to help you grow your business.
And that's very important. I'd have to emphasize to that I've been in this world as far as small business for years, and a lot of this data was never available. It was up to you to go and find it. And we understand that it is so important for organizations like Main Street and Small Business Development to put this to actually collect this information for us so that we have a better idea, because trying to get it yourself is just really, really difficult. And some of the other tools that were given even 5-6 years ago that I was using for businesses was so massive, and it was so out of date. That was the other problem. Right. It would be 3-4 years out of date. And in today's world, that just doesn't work. It changes too fast.
No, it doesn't. Another resource that we'll talk about now for just a second is the Iowa State Extension Service here in Fort Dodge. That office has been moved to the downtown, and they also have business sources. And they can do market analysis in just a data type form. And Main Street, Iowa has that service, that because we're a Main Street community, we can share with property owners, entrepreneurs, or businesses just in one field. If you want to know what the trends are, or if it would be feasible to open up an upper end men's clothing store, for example, we can send that request to Main Street, Iowa, and they can go through the ESRI or ESRI data, which is data collected. They're a nationwide company, but they can drill down into that 20, 10, and 5-minute drive times to that location that you're thinking about, to see if you have the market base needed to support your business idea. So there's lots of things, that we don't normally talk about, just because there's so many of them, so many resources. We try not to bog you down too much, but.
Well, and a couple of those things that you pointed out there were what we were talking to Dylan about last week with Discount Tire, and why they selected Fort Dodge was exactly 20, 10, and 5-minute drive times. Those are very important to them. And those are exactly some of the facts that we talked about that during that program. So here's some more information on starting your business in downtown.
So perfect, Cheryl. And if you want to talk about this, you sure can.
Oh, you're fine. You're there. You're downtown. I'm going to let you go.
All right, I'll go for it. So through the Ready to Recruit program, the grant, we have to develop some marketing pieces that will be online, and then also in paper form for developers and people interested in the downtown. But this is one about just what are the steps of starting your business? So we just really drilled this down to five. Small Business Development Center, SBDC, has a really great packet of information when you go and meet with Kimberly or Darcy that they can give you. And it goes even further into detail about what all of these steps entail. And Main Street Fort Dodge is a partner organization with the SBDC, so you can actually come in, talk with me, and I can get that intake ready to send to Darcy on your behalf, so we can work jointly together to support the businesses in the downtown, which is new for us, and we're really excited to put that link together for everybody. But again, assessing yourself as a business owner, locating your business. Is it best to be in downtown? Maybe you need to be on the edge of town in a more industrial setting, or maybe you need to be out by the mall to capture a different aesthetic for your business. And then permits, licensing, and approvals. That's a huge thing that some people leave to the last minute, and I think you really need to put that up in the top of your list to look at before you invest any money into what you're doing, so you know exactly the hoops you need to jump through to do that. And the Iowa Source Link is a great tool too, iowasourcelink.com. And actually, they have a business licensing information center that can assess or, yeah, can assist you. So you can actually go to their website, iowasourcelink.com, and click on that, and that will kind of walk you through those business licensing steps. And you can reach out to Carolyn Lawler at City of Fort Dodge to help you work through your permit process. Also, developing a business plan and a budget, SBDC and Main Street, again, partnering together to make sure that will work for you. And then we want people in the downtown, as you can tell. And so we're excited to have anybody in the downtown as long as your business fits in the mix, and this is the best place for you. So if it's not, we'll be upfront and frank and help you find a suitable location and the resources you need to do that.
I think that's a big point right there, Chris, is that, again, just like with digital marketing, not every platform is right for you, and
No.
not every business would be right for the downtown. And it might be better for out at the Crossroads area or out in that part of the community. There's just certain things that work better in certain places. And that's why we collect the data that we do. And that's why we have this information. And I know when you're talking about the business plan, I mean, small business development actually has somebody that'll help you set up your QuickBooks right here in Fort Dodge, and work with you, as well as they've got somebody with the IRS. And it's a good one. It's good. They're not going to turn you in. They're just going to answer your questions and help you out there. So there's some great resources with the North Central Iowa Small Business Development Center right here in Fort Dodge. And I believe that they're even working on being downtown a couple of times during the week as well.
Yeah, I think they are. So that's going to be a good resource. Also, Iowa SourceLink again does have a business guide, and that's another really good resource if you want to get really into that tiny detail piece. And we can do that too, but we're not going to put all those details on the website. It's too much information, and it might not pertain to the larger group of people.
Well, but you also have the program where they can have one-on-one coaching.
Well, that actually through Main Street Iowa, that ended the 1st of October. Unfortunately, it did. That program did not have as much traction as the state was hoping for, so they will not be offering that. We were hoping to get another free year of that service. But there are other pieces in place to offer you those same kinds of benefits. So give us a call if you're an entrepreneur and really want to talk to somebody. Everything is confidential, and we'll be really honest with you about where you are and where you need to be going next and putting your steps together. We also have a new resource guide on the website, which is a condensed version of the city's brochure. So everything is listed there. you'll see the website, and then you would go to our business resource tab to look for, and this is really that funding piece. Do you qualify for maybe a challenge grant to help your building be improved or be more than a white box for a business? Do you need one-on-one business mentoring from Robin Bostrom from the state of Iowa? Again, confidential. She's a Main Street Iowa employee. So lots and lots of resources. Please check that out. Again, those items will be going live on our site by October 15th. So they will be ready for you there. And then looking forward a little bit, we want to remember that American Express is doing shop local initiatives all year long now. It's not just about the holiday shopping season, even though that's coming up. And neighborhood champions for that program will be able to register here pretty soon. It's not open yet for registration for the Small Business Saturday, but we're getting there. But there are lots of free graphics that you can use. This is one of them. Thanks for shopping by. You just go to americanexpress.com, shop small, and you can actually put your business name in a lot of these documents. It will walk you through. There's probably 10 choices of what kind of business you are, and they will make custom, free of charge, custom graphics for you to display in your windows, social media posts, even a banner to go on Facebook or even your website if you want to do that for a short period of time. So
Exactly.
lots and lots of different kinds of resources to get you ready for the holiday shopping season, and then things to change out through the year to just remind people it's about shopping small and keeping our independent local small business owners open, whether it's from their home or whether it's in a brick and mortar store. They're even offering online only businesses some graphic kind of information now too. So pretty exciting things from them.
Lots of changes this year, and they are emphasizing that you shop early. And actually, they're looking at probably gift cards are going to be huge this year for if they're not able to get what they need for the holiday, but at least be able to give a gift card so that they can get it after the first of the year. So that's a great option there. Here's an event that'll be happening in another week.
Yeah, oh my gosh, it's coming up so soon. We've got so many things to do for this, but really excited. Main Street Iowa will be in town. All of their directors from 54 communities across the state will be here to attend a conference that we're hosting. And then at the same time, this is overlapping perfectly. We have the fall crawl. Ethan Becker is organizing the trick or treat for downtown Fort Dodge. There will be an orange pumpkin with the Main Street Merchant logo on it in the window, so people will know that you can trick or treat for free from 5 to 7 p.m. on October 19th. And that is overlapping with the fall fashion show that Morgan Fitzgerald is organizing and promoting. So you may be seeing these really cool little flyers she's got for that event. And look at all these vendors that are going to be there. She has 40 vendors that will be down on the square. They'll be lining the library park or Carl King Park. And then the fashion show is outdoors, it's live, and it will be on that main sidewalk between the gazebo and the Fort Dodge Library.
What a nice different idea. Very, very fun.
Oh, it's so cool. This group of retailers in the downtown, the Main Street Merchants, have got some incredible ideas. And every business in the downtown is eligible to be part of the group. It's an open group. So please participate and come down and learn what we've got planned for the holiday season.
And I love the little QR code in the corner.
Yeah. And I think everything that Main Street will be doing from now on, thanks to Cheryl and her ideas, we're going to be QR coding everything. And I think that way you can just pull it up on your phone. And for this flyer, we're not posting who's going to be participating. You click that QR code and you can have it right on your phone.
Yeah, exactly.
And you can pair that with our interactive map on our website and find their locations really easily if you're not that familiar with the downtown.
Exactly.
So
Using that technology for everybody out there to use, young and old, out there to get part of. So I think this is a very great idea. Kudos to the group that's putting that all together and their creativity, and what an excellent way to showcase to the 90 some individuals from across the state that'll be here for Main Street Iowa conference as well. So anyway, we're getting down to the end, and I stole this today. This is not me being original, but I did laugh on this one. So I have a marketing joke of the week, and it is, why did the marketers steal groceries from the farmer's market? Any ideas, Chris?
No.
None at all?
Well, let me think about that for just a second. Ooh, no, I'm trying to think of a vegetable that would kind of fit into that answer.
Well, this is really good. I'm gonna, when we get done, I didn't have time to give kudos to the individual that put this out there, but I will, because I think this is that good. Everybody knows you do not pay for organic. So what that is talking about digital marketing. And if it's an organic piece of digital marketing, it means that they got to you just because they were able to find you online. And that's why you need to have your GMB, your Google Maps page put together. Make sure that you're showing up, your Google business page is showing up online. So that's very, very important. So yeah, everybody knows you do not pay for organic is the answer to that little quiz there for you as well. So
that was fun.
I know. I saw
like
that. Okay, well that's a good way for us to get to our end of our program. But again, anybody that has any questions in regards to a lot of the information, and we're right at an hour, and we know no way close came to giving you every detail of what is available out there. But we want you to know that all of these businesses, the Alpha Media, Jed Burns at Alpha Media, who's one of our sponsors, Kimberly and Darcy at Small Business Development Center, of course, Chris with Main Street, and myself with Spin Market Plus Digital are here to answer your questions. If you have something that you need some assistance with, we're very happy to help you in some ways, to at least point you the right direction. We may not have the answer, but we can point you to the right direction. And that's the whole idea of the business community support, is to provide information to our local businesses as well as to the community, because we often talk about the events going on, which we did today. We talked about the fall crawl, the convention, Main Street Iowa convention coming to town, and that as well. So this hour is spent talking about the region, the Fort Dodge region, as well as what's going on in the state. And as we know, in the digital world, it's international now. It's the entire world is out there for us. And we are providing you information as to how you can get that brick and mortar store worldwide with the digital marketing.
Perfect.
Yep. Anything else that you have that we didn't cover today, Chris, that you want to make sure you get out there?
Yeah, real quickly, and I know I'm going to get this name wrong, but we have 150 police personnel and their wives coming into town next week for an association meeting. So they will be in the downtown and they'll be shopping. So we want to make sure that all of the retails are ready to greet this group of people. And I encourage them to put welcome signs in their window. And we will be posting that welcome sign later today, so people can copy that and put it in their window, or if you need a print version, you can email me and we will get you one.
Cool. Excellent. I did not know about that. So that's something I learned today. I know they've had Fort Dodge as that location for that conference a couple of other times. Rhonda Nelson, I know one time, was in charge of a lot of the programs for women. Yeah.
Yeah, Carrie Kuiper with the CVB, she's the Convention and Visitor Bureau Director. She has been working closely with that group. So
excellent. Lots of busy. It's a busy month, October. But we also, again, want you to know 2022 is around the corner. And I know there's a lot of businesses that are going to kind of be happy when 2021 is over with as well. It's been a difficult year. We thought 2020 was bad. I think 2021 for some places has been just as difficult. on there just because we're not normal yet, or what we considered normal before. And today we need to be looking at what we'll be doing for 2022. Let's look over what's happened in 2021, get you some data, get some information, get you to the people that you need to talk to and can help you in whatever way possible. And like I said, any of the 4 sponsors here, whether you contact Jen at Alpha Media or Kimberly or Darcy at the Small Business Development Center or Chris at Main Street Fort Dodge or myself at Spin Market Digital, we'll be happy to answer your questions and do everything we can to get you the information you need to take care of those questions for you.
Or if they have best business practices that you'd like to share, please reach Cheryl or I, and we can definitely get those out. And maybe you would like to be on the program.
Yeah, exactly. As you can tell, it's just like drinking coffee, sitting across the table and drinking coffee and having a conversation. That's what it's all about. Well, thank you so much, Chris. I'm glad you hopped on, and we look forward to everybody hopping on with us as we do each week. And again, thank you, and have a great Saturday. Iowa, Penn State going. I'm not saying that I'm for one or the other. I just know that it's a huge national event. And so we've got a lot of attention for the state of Iowa going on this weekend.
Well, thank you, Cheryl, for putting the program together, and have a great week, everybody. Thank you.
Everybody, thank you. Take care. Bye.
Bye.